Hey guys, Huzzy here, bringing you another video, this time on Ryze top. Now, currently Ryze is my most played champion, but I've only recently picked him up again. I basically played him to get gold, or to platinum, sorry, when I was, trying to get up there, and it was the time when Ryze in mid with TP was very popular, that you TP down bot lane and you basically got a double kill, but, in the past couple of weeks, Ryze has become very popular in top lane, and people like Voyboy and Iris and that have picked him up in SoloQ, and occasionally I think we have seen him in LCS maybe once or twice in top lane. But yeah, he's a very good champion, and he's a relatively safe top laner, I want to say, but there are a couple things that have disadvantages and advantages. Ryze's early game is very weak, and this leads to the point of runes are very important for him, and if you slightly have the wrong runes or the matchup, then you're at a pretty disadvantage. Now, right now in this match, it was about 5-6 days ago, so my memory's a bit foggy of exactly what happened, but I have quite a good understanding in my head. I'm against a Cassiopeia top lane. Now, that is quite a rare choice, and a lot of people say, yeah, it's a bit odd, but basically, the Cassiopeia has picked to counter me. Cassiopeia is pretty much a very big counter to Ryze from early game to mid game, as Cassiopeia is an early game lane bully. She's very good late game as well, but her strength is her big power spike is at level 2. No, excuse this. Twitch has been going really dodgy, and it should resume. Yeah, this is why this video has been delayed. Twitch VODs has been really dodgy the last few days, but hopefully this time it'll be okay. But yeah, her power spike is at level 2 when she has her Q and her E, and with her ignite as well, she will be able to bully me out of lane. So basically, as a Ryze in top laner, this game, I've basically got to play careful early on. Once I have my Catalyst and Tier with maybe Tier 1 boots, that's when my power spike starts to, come in. But still, it's not a great situation to be in. So the team comps on this team, they are quite odd teams, I would say. Our team is more generic, being a Hecarim jungle, Orianna mid lane, Ryze top lane with a Graves Blitzcrank bot lane. The enemy team is something on the lines of Tristana, AD carry, Xerath mid, Cassiopeia top lane with a Nami support, and I'm not entirely sure what their jungler was. But yeah, ours is a bit more conventional, basically because of the Cassiopeia pickup, and yeah, we'll see how it goes this game. Now, I wanted to show off this game in particular, basically show you do not need the best of start in lane to do really well. Now, if you are directly countered, you basically just need to play safe, and yes, you will be behind in CS. You try to make the most of it, but in the end of the day, sometimes you just have to play a bit more passive. Now, in the tri-bush, there is a little skirmish going on between the both junglers. They've found each other. That is the most common thing to happen now at level 2 or 3 for junglers. Basically, is you do the bottom buff first, so if you're on blue side, you will do the red buff first, then do blue, then go top. And if you're on purple, you will do blue, then red, then top. It's the most common thing ganking-wise in League of Legends, and that's why you kind of ward around the 2-minute-ish mark nowadays in top lane, just so you have a presence of where the jungler is going to be. So again, Cassiopeia's just, pushing the lane quite a bit, but she's also poking me and having very good harass on me. And as you can see, my starting items, I quote Crystalline Flask, and I've already basically run out of the 3 charges. I have still 1 health potion available, but still, I'm not at a great situation to be. Now, basically, I want this wave to go under tower. Now, Ryze isn't an amazing farmer under tower because his auto-attack animation is quite slow, as well as his spell cast is not the best to when you want to farm precisely. But it's basically the only safe way I actually have to secure any CS right now, as she's just bullying me way too hard. So I'm going to try and pick up as much CS as I can, but I have to understand that I'm not going to get every single one. If I get around half at this stage, then I'll probably be happy with that. So you just got to do as best as you can in a counter situation. Now, obviously, I always say, and will always stand by the comment of, pick the champions you know how to play. In Diamond, you do find that people are able to play certain champions they haven't played in a while, or they play champions that, they're not amazingly familiar with because they just have the game knowledge, and they should have the champion knowledge, I suppose. So I was thinking of basing then, but honestly, with only 620 gold, I can't really buy anything worthwhile. Cassiopeia is also nearly so this will allow me maybe a wave or 2 of nearly free farming, potentially. Now I'm trying to get the CS in a position that I can last hit it even more. Now the cannon is being attacked. I don't really want to tank the minions, as that would, well, I'm going to be basing soon anyway, but yeah. I wouldn't recommend, tanking them. Cassiopeia has, I think, based, so there is a wave near my turret, so I am going to, continue to push. Fortunately, don't pick up that CS there. It's just judging, basically, how much you need to use your spells. And the thing with Ryze is he actually fluctuates depending what runes you have early on, like, more so than other champions. I think in this situation, in this game, my runes were something on the lines of Magic Pen Reds, AP Quints, health per level yellows, and MR blues. It's probably the most optimum versus a Cassiopeia, but that doesn't give you a huge amount of power spike because obviously there's no mana in them, or there's no movement speed to actually secure the auto attacks or spells. So you've just got to be very familiar with Ryze and the different rune setups to actually be able to CS quite efficiently. Now, in the game right now, it's currently 1-2 at about 6 minutes, so they do have a slight advantage. They will have a slight advantage in CS, I do believe, having basically in top lane is the only lane I can call for. Yeah, there you go. She is 14 CS ahead of me, which isn't great, but as I said, she is a bully, and I expected the moment I saw Cassiopeia in Champion Select, I knew she was top lane, not mid, as a pure counter to me. And I knew I was going to be behind in lane. And I don't think any of my team complains or anything like that, because people in Diamond, they have a general understanding of the game, and they know that Cassiopeia counters Ryze. So yeah, it's just something that people kind of know at this elo. Now, you did see that my damage was actually quite nice on Cassiopeia right there. Obviously, having a Tear of the Goddess on Cassiopeia gives you no extra damage. It just gives you sustain with the mana, where having a Tear of the Goddess on Ryze does give you damage. So I've got a smaller, little power spike than her right now, but she probably can still kill me 1-1, as she does have that ignite and I do not. So she does have a 250 damage-ish advantage. Now, obviously, having TP, you want to use that as best you can, really. Now, Cassio, as you can see, I was going to go for a ward, but she's being very, very aggressive. Any moment she can get spells on me, she wants to get, damage on me. She plays it extremely aggressive, and it's actually a very good way to play Cassiopeia. As well, if you can manage your mana, and when you get Tear of the Goddess with your passive, it's very easy to spam abilities and save your mana. So yeah, Cassio is a very good champion. I personally really like Cassiopeia. I remember watching Ocelot a few years back, maybe a year or a year and a half back, when she was actually... Well, I don't want to say she's not viable right now, because I would say she is. I would just say there's champions that do kind of the same job better. Yeah, I remember watching Ocelot on Cassiopeia, and I actually played a bit of Cassiopeia myself in the past. And yeah, she's a very nice champion to play. So... basically, there's not much to say about the game right now. I don't want to say basically too much, but I'm trying to farm as well as I can as Ryze. Obviously, if you know Ryze, you know he is a late game monster. I wouldn't say he's a hyper carry, but he is very, very powerful late game. Maybe he is a hyper carry, but he's very, very strong. And yeah, unfortunately, a kill goes down in mid lane, Hecarim goes down, so we are 1-3 behind. So this game right now is not looking great. But I would say overall our team comp would be slightly better in a teamfight situation or something along them lines if we can dodge the Cassiopeia ult. I use my ultimate just to clear as well as I can, do some damage on Cassio. She's like nearly a third health or so, so I've got quite a lot of pressure on her. But she's just going to heal it back up. She might have some spell pen in, I don't know, masteries if she's gone into the utility. The runes, or the masteries, sorry, I run... are 9021, I think it is, on Ryze. Gives me that utility, and having the spell vamp is actually really nice. Now, really well played to bot lane. Now, that was a really fail Cassiopeia ult. It has to be said. Obviously, if you don't know Cassiopeia's ult, she is basically Medusa in the way that she turns people to stone. If you look directly into her ult, the closer you are to it, the longer the stun will last. If you just simply turn your back, even if how close you are, you'll be okay. Now, there is a dive going on, but this is a really weird dive. I think I do die, but it's still really odd that they've both really low health. So, bam, 1 kill for Hecarim. So that gives me some gold. But that was a very, very odd dive, it must be said, in the fact that I was... like half-ish health, maybe a little bit above, but obviously I was but but I don't think they should have dived that. They were at no point they were both going to survive that, and I still have my summoners, both of them. I arguably I could have used my flash to maybe make a better play, but you know, when you're playing live, it's a lot different than when you're looking in hindsight. So that's the thing. That's the move I kind of did. Now I am TPing down to mid lane to see if I can make something happen. Doopy doopy doo. Hi there, and you're dead. So 300 gold, nice kill for me using that TP for the first time of the game. So really nice. And I think, yep, I just got blue buff from that. So that's actually really nice for me being Ryze. So yeah, when you have TP, you really do need to make sure that you're, using it in the right situations. Now, if we look what items Cassiopeia has picked herself up. Now, I'm actually quite confident right now. I don't think she has ultimate, and I have mine up. So as you can see, I'm damaging her quite heavy. I want to use my ultimate if I just ran out, but yeah, I'm doing really, okay right now. I go for the kill, and she doesn't die. She was literally on one auto attack or so away from dying, but I think Hecarim might go pick her up. As I said, this game is about 5 days ago, 5-6 days ago, so the memory of this game is a bit foggy, so I'm not entirely sure if he manages to get the kill or not. So he runs after her. I think he doesn't. Oh, he's fighting, but then, yeah, he's kind of stuck in a Jarvano and goes way too deep, so little bit risky from the Hecarim, honestly. Jarvan is still in the area. I get minion blocked, which is really annoying. And I use my ultimate to try and heal up. Now, there is also Xerath here as well, which is quite irritating. He uses ultimate and finishes me off. So not a great situation for both me and Hecarim. I should have just backed as soon as I saw him overextending too much. But Orianna should have reacted herself, being in mid lane and just staying in mid. It's always good to push your lane, but a lot of the time it's better to be there in person. Now, she does catch Xerath when she's coming back to lane, but that's not a great situation for her to be in. Now, bot lane, there is kills trading, and I think that's just a 1-for-1, so not terrible. Could have been better, I suppose. So, game resumes as normal, not much to say. I just respawn, pick up my catalyst, so my damage again has increased somewhat. Now, Rod of Ages is a very good item, obviously, for Ryze. It's like the ultimate item for Ryze. And timings of Rod of Ages are generally, if you get it between 12, well, very good Rod of Ages times, if you get it between 12 and 13 minutes, that's what typically when you're very, very fed. But if you get it before around 18 minutes, I'd say it's a good timer to have, because in SoloQ, if you're not going to FF at 20, the average game will probably last about half an hour. So if you get it around 18 minutes, you will have the power spike of the passive or Rod of Ages before the game ends, and within a couple minutes of the game ending. So you'll be able to do as much damage with that item as possible. So items consist of a Doran's Ring, Tear of the Goddess. She's got Tier 2 SoloQ boots, and she's got a Ruby Crystal. So not a lot of damage in there, but honestly, a Cassiopeia just have a lot of damage just with her spells and abilities. She has got a red buff, which will give her a small advantage in damage, even with that little dot of red buff, as well as actually having a slow on it. So I don't generally really want to fight her right now, or that's what I would think I would try and not do. My TP is up in 85 seconds, so I probably would want to make something happen with that TP. Now, there's a fight going on in Dragon. They managed to pick it up, my team, but then a team fight happens, and right now it's 2-for-2, but we do have the Dragon, and I think it might be 3-for-2. Yep, they pick up another, and I think they actually get the final kill. So overall, a quite bad trade for our team. I use my ultimate to push the mid wave. See if I can make anything at all happen, but I don't think I will. They are relatively low, but no TP up or anything. So, yeah, I just return back to top lane, take a wave in mid, and return to top lane. As I said, Ryze, you just basically want to farm as well as you can to get to the late game stage of Ryze. When you're having Catalyst and, well, when you have Rod of Ages and Tear of the Goddess, you're at a very good stage of the game. Obviously, there's Frozen Heart in there that is also very good for Ryze and other things. But, yeah, Ryze just needs items. He's one of the most item-dependent champions in the game. Turning the top lane, try to see if I could push it into tower before Cassiopeia returns. She might have based before she comes back top lane, which would be alright for me, I guess. So I push it and decide to base for myself, go pick up, I think I would pick up a Blasting Wand to have a little bit of damage. And yes, I do. So yeah, having a bit of damage or more damage right now. My TP is almost up. So I'm going to try and I think I would try and use the TP maybe down bot lane to try and get my Graves in a good situation. The Blitzcrank's just clearing some wards. And I would have to say Blitzcrank, I don't know why, but I've seen quite a lot of Blitzcranks recently. It could be the guide that was on Reddit. That was a very good guide on the League of Legends Reddit. Maybe people are picking up Blitz again, but he's a very good champion. Now, Hecarim is on his way, so I've used my ultimate to speed into Cassio. Now, there is a Jarvan here as well, but honestly, we have too much damage right now. I am actually pretty damn strong. As you can see, my damage is doing really, really well. So we're going in for the final kill. Hecarim picks it up. It would have been nice if I got it, but yeah, we just kill them 2 for 2. And yeah, with my ultimate and Jarvan locked them into a... Jarvan locked Cassiopeia into it, then yeah, it was a really good situation. Orianna ult, and here's kind of where we start turning the game. They kill the Tristana, and Graves gets the kill. Really nice, well played. And Nami was nearly dead, so we nearly get like most of them on their team. So really, really good situation. Xerath continued to push mid and did actually manage to get that tower, but they get the tower in bot lane. I am TPing to mid. Now Hecarim unfortunately goes in way too early, and I don't have home guard or anything. So he goes in too early, unfortunately, and yeah, he basically just gets bursted dead. So I am trying to get the kill, and here we go, going in for the kill, doing as best I can to get this. It would be really good. He's got double buffs at the end of the day, and with the range, nerfed, he's able to get away, which is unfortunate. So that's, when you're going in with a gank with TP, you really want to make sure your people don't go in too early. And as you see in chat, I did actually say too early. And I think he actually may, from memory, say something like he thought I had home guard. But I wasn't even TPing from late. I wasn't TPing from base. Now, I have no idea what this Blitzcrank is doing, honestly. This is really derpy. So, yeah. Not much to say about that. That's good. But yeah, Cassiopeia's pushed up the top wave. Quite a nice farm here. Hecarim is also in the area, so we might look for another kill on Cassio. I use my ultimate basically just to clear it as quickly as possible. She has got a Haunting Guise right now, and Haunting Guise is really good for Cassio with the spell pen. Now, again, going in trying to get the kill. She doesn't, and we should have seen this coming a mile away. I go in for the ward, but we should have saw that a mile away. I should have turned my back as soon as I was going to walk into that bush. So, well played to Cassio, I suppose, but very badly played by me and Hecarim. It was very obvious that she would have done that. Hecarim, I think, has found a Jarvan relatively near blue buff, and Cassio has decided to back off, so I ping him to just be careful, maybe leave, because you don't want to be in a unnumbered or uneven numbered situation at this stage of the game. Got nearly 800 gold, probably soon to buy my tier 2 boots. Now there is a little fight situation going on, Jarvan and, well, I don't know where Xerath is, so I think we do decide to just back off. But yeah, Xerath is probably roaming up. Now, Graves got a double kill down bottom lane. Bot lane was a really weird situation, it seems, that there was many ups and downs in that lane, but I think they come out overall on top. Now, Jarvan is in the area to try and get a gank on me, but also Hecarim is coming to maybe do a counter gank or something. I ping him to try and get into the top bush, as that probably would be the best position to be in. He gets into the bush undetected, but I don't know if we make anything happen. It would be great if we do. If I pick up the kill, even better, as obviously having kills on a Ryze is a really good thing to have. Going to push up the wave probably anytime soon. I'll probably start pushing it as we, or we just go in for the kill. Yeah, okay, we just go in for the kill. So Hecarim is ulting. Really nice fear into my damage, and Hecarim picks up the kill. So unfortunately I don't get it, but really nice gank by the Hecarim. But obviously seeing a Hecarim top does allow the enemies maybe to do something around the map. And luckily for us, I don't think Dragon is actually up. But if it was up, they probably would just run to Dragon. So I think we're going to push up top lane. Maybe I'm going to push it to try and get some of the tower. Maybe even go for the whole tower. I'm not entirely sure. But I've just got nearly 1300 gold, which is a nice amount to have. And now about to get the tower, so that will kind of jump somewhat up. And there we go, got 1430 odd. So that will allow me probably to get tier 2 boots, I would imagine. Yep, tier 2 boots. Getting them SoloQ boots, spell pen for Ryze is quite good. Now I'm not entirely sure where my build is going to go from here. I buy some wards. Obviously, vision wins games. Now, I will say, people say, how do you win against a Blitzcrank? Because Blitzcrank late game, if he grabs one person, you're a huge disadvantage unless he grabs a tank. Basically, you just need vision, as well as if you're against a Jarvan or a Zac. Vision is key against them champions, especially if they have the combo, the wombo combo. But anyway, we're going in for a team fight right now. I use my W onto the Jarvan, but they managed to actually grab the Cassiopeia, and I don't actually do any damage onto her. Now, I have no idea why Triss jumped into the middle of that team fight right then. That was a really odd move. There's a still skirmish going on. Yeah, we just absolutely obliterate that team fight. So really well played by us. Cassiopeia got ulted. I managed to keep Jarvan out with the W for a split second, so they managed to burst the Cassio in time. And I have no idea why the Tristana jumped into the middle of the team fight. I've seen a few Tristanas that do this, and I had one the other day that was like really ragey, and they were literally just jumping into the middle of a team fight, which was really stupid. Anyway, I'm going to try and catch onto the Xerath, and again, I don't pick up a kill. So right now I'm 227, 7 assists on Ryze. I like more kills, honestly, but if my AD carry is getting fed, then I'm pretty happy. And our team comp, as I was saying earlier in the game, I would say our team comp is better late game than theirs. We have Hecarim for a big AoE fear with his, knockarounds and stuff. We have a Ryze with big AoE damage. Orianna, big, AoE damage with the big interrupt. And obviously Gray's big AoE. So as you would kind of see, we have opted kind of for an AoE comp. And now in SoloQ, a lot of the time you don't have team comp synergy, but I would say our team comp is actually very, very good. I would, I'd be fine with running this in a, 5v5 situation in ranked. There's nothing particularly wrong with the comp. I would say, what would its weakness be? Honestly, it doesn't have many weaknesses. Maybe poke is probably an issue for it if Blitzcrank can't land his hooks. But other than that, it's pretty damn good. So I'm going to base now. I'm not entirely sure what item I'm going to build. Maybe Xerath's, but we'll see. Yep, pick up the blasting wand ready. Or going to make my way to Xerath's. And I sell a health potion. And I think I just buy... Yeah, I buy another mana crystal, which eventually build into a glacial shroud. There comes a pull from Blitzcrank. And that's quite funny, having a Nami ulting. And then it passes right through here. There's a fight going on. I'm going to TP into it. But they're kind of winning the fight without me. And now I don't have Home Guard. It probably would have been good if I actually bought Home Guard right there. Now Casso again. Now I do turn my back, as you saw. Turn my back so I didn't get stunned at all. I just got a little bit slowed. And we managed to kill them both. So pretty well played by myself. Not being, getting stunned like the others kind of did. But yeah, pretty good. That's basically how you play against a Cassiopeia. You just have to predict when she's going to use her ultimate. And once you kind of know... when the Cassiopeia is kind of going to ultimate, obviously it depends, which player, and you're going to kind of read them. But they're pretty easy to determine. The best Cassiopeias are the most unpredictable ones. But if you find yourself being a predictable Cassiopeia, then you're in a bit of trouble. Pushing the wave top lane, get most of the CS. Now this is the point that Ryze is in his element and can pretty much get every CS. Now. Obviously, me having the lane of Cassiopeia was a pretty difficult lane, and that's kind of why I'm underfarmed CS-wise. But if I was against a normal bruiser or something, then I probably would be okay. Now, I would say I was against a Lee Sin top lane the other day on Ryze, and he absolutely destroyed me. Not in kills straight away. CS, we were relatively even, but then he got a what they call Ravenous Hydra. And I think he maxes W. And the problem was, any damage I did, he just healed it up straight away. And it was insane. Like, it was literally insane. And I need to try it up top lane. Lee Sin, you max your W. And I think you might even max your E. You don't go for individual kills. You look in the long-term picture. Now, normally I play Lee Sin, maxing the Q, having the short-term goal of just getting as many kills as possible. But yeah, this Lee Sin just focused on farm, focused on his AoE damage, and was an absolute monster. So I am slightly out of positions right now. There isn't a smite, so I don't think we're going to go for Baron. I farm the waves even more, trying to bait a fight, get the W onto the Tristana, and there's a Hecarim knock-up, and bam, my final Q gets the kill, so that's pretty good. I was trying to bait out a fight because I saw my team was to the side of me, and we had numbers on them. Hecarim saying that we don't have smite, but honestly I think it's okay to do this right now. I'm going to probably use my ult when it's up just to get the health regen going, but I do have to be slightly careful with a Cassio being relatively in the the area. Having my ult for a team fight would be
pretty nice. Now the Blitz and the Orianna are kind of zoning. The Cass, I come in and actually I get the kill and they finish off the Baron. So overall, pretty damn good situation for us to be in. Graves is taking my CS. I'm trying to race to it as quick as I can. But I think he does actually manage to clear it out most of it before I actually get there. Pick up 2 CS. So okay, I guess. Gonna base, and I think I'm gonna pick up the Glacial Shroud, which is a very nice item on Ryze. CDR and armor. Tristana on the enemy team. I don't think she's incredibly strong, but obviously an AD carry late game does a lot of damage anyway. So you just gotta be a bit careful. I'm gonna make my way over to R Blue and pick that up. So overall, this game has been up and down for me. Lane phase was very hard until basically I got the catalyst and tier. Then I started to do damage, as you were seeing, in the the little skirmishes we had when we did 2v2 up top with me and Hecarim, killing both Jarvan and Orianna. And that's what you have to do when you're playing Ryze. You've got to be patient. If you're playing Ryze, do not have the mentality I need kills now. Basically, you just go, right, I have these items, and when am I going to get kills? Because it's basically inevitable that a Ryze will get kills. Now, I don't really know what the Cassio is kind of meaning. The Cassiopeia was complaining that Hecarim kind of babysat top. Now, he didn't really babysit it, but he did gank very well. And the thing is, every single one of his ganks, he generally got a kill, so it probably feels like babysitting. And I kind of just make the comment where you did kind of, pick a counter to me. Now, I killed the Tristana using my flash, which was pretty good. And yeah, she's vulnerable to ganks up top lane, Cassiopeia, because she's not got much escape. And there's a very funnel system in top lane that you need an escape champion. Unlike mid, you can disperse in different locations. You can't do that up top lane. But yeah, I don't know what she can expect with picking a counter to a champion and not, kind of getting focused. I would expect to get focused if I had a pure counter. So yeah, it's just kind of obvious. But anyway, guys, this was Ryze Top. Hope you found it interesting. Ryze Top is a pretty good champion, and I always like Ryze. Maybe I'll do a mid commentary soon. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.